because he had run into one and caught one in one of his own traps and let it go. And it headed west. And then you heard the yipping, approached it. It was a pit on the shore of a lake that you were on the shore of. And an arrow was shot at Vlad, and he jumped down in the hole to avoid getting shot at. And then everyone else came up and found that there was a hobgoblin in the tree, who sent out some birds to attack people. Oh yeah, George is down. He got lit the fuck up by a bird, and then the birds flew away after the hobgoblin was safe and you guys weren't pursuing him.
Sounds about right.
And we stopped right as that happened because Xavier had to leave.
Yes.
So we're literally at the end of combat. You're no longer in combat. George is down. Someone's in a pit. It's worth mentioning, Vlad, now that you hear you don't hear any arrows flying or any spells being cast in the distance or any kind of combat. What do you do?
I'm gonna yell for the druid to get his ass over here. I've got a fox for him to talk to.
All right. I'm on my way.
It's worth mentioning, now that you're looking at the fox a little closer, his back leg has been slashed open and he's limping and can't walk. Or her.
Okay. If nobody else is, I'm just gonna heal the dead guy.
My fellow bard, he actually cares about me.
I actually care. I would heal myself, but I only have one heal left.
Okay.
8 hit points. Heal.
Oh wait, is somebody down?
You also add your modifier, dude.
What modifier?
I don't know. It's based on your spell. It's based on your thing or whatever.
Oh, man.
It's based on your governing stat.
Are we talking about the heal skill right now?
No,
1d8
we're talking about
plus
Cure Light
1.
Wounds.
So that's 9 hit points.
Well, actually, it's I know that it says +1 per it says no. It's 1d8 plus. Oh, that's Mythic Cure Light Wounds.
Yeah.
Hold on, that's per caster level. The way that I do it is it's plus your Fuck.
Just spill more water.
No, it's plus your whatever stat governs your spells, whatever its modifier is, times your level.
What's the modifier for charisma?
I don't think it's charisma for bards. I think it's wisdom, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I thought it was charisma.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure bards, their spellcasting ability is charisma.
I'm checking right now. But that's because they don't keep up. They become useless, completely useless. And it's kind of hard and difficult to stay caught up. And also it opens up the ability for more interesting encounters. Random ability score. Nope. Ability scores. Spells. Bards. Charisma for bards, paladins, and sorcerers. So yeah, it is. So whatever your charisma modifier is, since you're only level 1, gets added to that heal. And normally in combat, if you cast it on him, you would roll the d8, but you don't because you're out of combat.
So should I put to +4?
Yeah, if you have an 18 in charisma, yeah.
18 charisma, yeah. Alright.
Okay, what else is everyone doing?
I'm over by Arthur, and I ask him, okay, what do you want me to ask him? What are you thinking?
Questions. Try to figure out what the hell's going on. What possibly made this trap? What tracks are we following? So on and so forth. See if he knows anything. He is a forest critter after all.
We're only going to have one shot at this, so we got to make sure these questions count.
Yeah, you
Not
have
one.
60 seconds, so And I'm gonna actually have a timer, so, and that'll also include his answers, so you know. And I will try to make those as reasonable as possible and realistic.
Okay,
as
well,
possible.
all right. How
And
about
so you'll probably have a little bit longer because I may have to think. I'll use a real timer and pause it when I'm thinking. But you should
How
probably
about-
figure out what you want to say to him before you cast the spell.
That's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
talking's overrated, huh? How about I heal the critter's back legs so that it'll be a little bit quicker on the talking, so on and so forth, and potentially a little bit more helpful, huh?
Seems logical to me.
Would that work? Can I use the heal skill for that, or do I not count as a veterinarian?
Absolutely. Hold on.
I can also roll
Yeah,
handle
go
animal
ahead
if
and
that's
roll that.
necessary. Man, it's a good thing I got a plus 11 on that.
Oh shit. What was this other handle? Oh, okay.
We were
Yeah.
debating options.
So it's a pretty bad gash. You suspect it'll take a couple weeks to heal. You have some of the things that you need in order to like patch it up, but you don't really have the tools on hand that would be necessary because of how bad the wound is. So you can basically disinfect it, and disinfect's the wrong word, but you can tend to it and like patch it up, but it's going to take a couple weeks to heal.
Okay.
And you already did a handle animal on it, right? Earlier, last time? I can see it up above where it says you tried to climb out and failed, and then you tried to handle the animal. Is that correct?
Yeah, I wanted to pet it.
Okay. You wanted to pet it. So it's super friendly to you. And it realizes what you're doing and lets you do your work. It winces a whole bunch, but you seem to do the best you can for the wound.
Okay. What to ask it? I would of course ask it if it recognizes the slithering trail that we've been seeing. You think
Okay.
that's okay?
Yeah, I think we also might want to figure out what did this to him. I think that might be a good place to start.
Probably be something along the lines of the fall, but yes.
No, it's clear when you inspect the wound. It was cut open with a knife.
So it's a precise cut.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would want to ask what did that, and we would want to ask what could possibly be causing that slithering trail. And then I suppose if we've got enough time, we could ask if it wants to go with me. I could carry it around in my bag while it heals. Like a pet.
You don't think it will slow us down at all?
I mean, how big is this fox? What am I looking at? This guy?
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
It's like a large cat or a very, very small dog. It's a fox.
Cat dogs.
Yeah.
As long as it
Hello?
slows us down. I care for this fox, but I care for Grizz more, so...
It's worth mentioning, this probably would cross your mind as he's saying that. If you don't take care of it, it's probably going to die. Because it's not going to be able to take care of itself. Because like you're going to have to do things it can't do on its own and doesn't know to do on its own over the next 2 weeks as it heals. I just figure Vlad that would be something that your character knows.
Yeah. This doesn't seem like
So
a fair...
why don't you guys write down the list of answers or the questions that you want. I will start the timer when you cast it, and you can ask the question, and I will pause it to think of a response and unpause it once he responds. And I'm not going to try and waste your time. I'm going to have him answer honestly. And then when he stops, I'm going to have you guys... I'll pause it and say, okay, what's your next question? And when you're ready, like that's how we're going to do it, okay? That might be a little too simulationist, but I want to make sure that you make as good of use of the 1 minute that you have.
Okay. Yeah.
And I want it to be 1 minute.
There we
Because
go.
this will become a much more powerful spell the more time you have.
Yep, I understand.
Yeah. So write down which ones you want, and then all agree on what you're going to ask, and then we'll do it. Okay. And I assume, I kind of want you to be specific in your questions. So instead of saying what made those tracks, I would recommend asking what made those deep snake-like tracks, just to be specific, right?
Yeah,
Because
Fox isn't
My
that
immediate
intelligent.
response to what made those tracks are what tracks, and I don't think you want to waste that time.
Yeah, I understood exactly what you meant.
Because I'm going to have him answer honestly and specifically. Or her. Still haven't decided. I'm trying to find what the Fox ratio of genders are.
I don't think that's
Just
incredibly
roll,
important.
just roll a coin. Just roll a d2.
No, a D100.
Sure, whatever makes you happy. Its gender is not going to affect what questions we ask.
It might.
That's correct, it won't.
In fact, I would be more concerned if it did.
So that's a female.
Wow.
What?
Wow, a perfect 100 is a female? That's sexist.
I did 50-50. What? 0 to 49 was male, and 50 to 100 was female.
Wow!
Actually,
I was
that's
about to say,
male.
that's going to be
No, that's
1 to
actually
50
male.
would be.
That's actually male, yeah.
Wow, you're giving a nat 20 to the males? How patriarchal of you.
Fuck you, you dumb motherfucker. Get your Tumblr bullshit out of here. I'm gonna have to deal with them enough. Ugh.
I can't believe you.
But no, it is a male. I was wrong because 100 technically is a 0, which is 0 to 49.
100 is
male.
the best number.
I think I can say this with absolute certainty. Sky, you're the only one that cares what its gender is.
I'm telling you, it might have been important.
It could become important.
Like,
down the
what if it
future.
went into heat and it ran away?
It's in a hole.
It's
not gonna run very far.
It's important. Or what if, there are reasons that its gender could be important.
We have questions to ask.
You have 3
Its
questions. Do you
gender
have
is
any
not
others?
itself.
Anyway. Third one is, would you mind if Arthur took care of you until you're...
Damn it, we should have asked it where the blacksmith was.
Blacksmith? What?
God damn it! Shut up with your goddamn.
Where's the
Markiplier memes.
blacksmith?
I don't understand this meme.
You wouldn't. You're not cultured enough.
Fuck you, bitch.
It's Markiplier. That's the opposite of culture. Stop that.
Next, you're gonna rail on PewDiePie.
I will. Do you want me to
Jeez.
start? No, we should probably question this so that poor old Cyrus and George can actually do stuff.
They can do stuff right now. In fact, what are you guys doing while
No.
they're
No. Let's stay on one topic. No, we're staying on one topic here because you're gonna go to them. You're gonna come back and you're gonna ask us what questions we wanted to
No,
ask.
I'm gonna. Okay, are you cast? I was gonna ask you when I came back. Are you casting the spell? So, are you casting the spell?
We are ready. We know what we're gonna ask.
Okay. Tell me when you're starting your first question, and that's when you will have cast the spell.
Okay, starting. Do you want me to read it out?
Yes, read it out.
What did this to you?
Okay. So it responds.
Amazing.
With something to the effect of nasty 2-legged predator.
Probably the hobgoblin.
And then it's back to you.
Okay. Have you seen any slithering tracks lately? Large slithering tracks that you have you seen what made them?
So when you ask this, it bares its fangs, and it doesn't hiss, but it makes a fox noise. One of like an aggressive one.
One might ask,
and
what
like
does
the hair
fox
on
say?
the hair on it. You dumb fucker. Like the hair on its shoulders stick up, and like it gets nasty and says, foul. He doesn't say it like Gollum. He essentially says like something like foul new beast, monstrous thing in the woods. And keep in mind, Therazar is the only one who can understand this.
Yeah.
But I assume you're going to relay it to everyone. or at least Arthur. It's back to you.
Have you seen any other creatures like it, or other strange creatures?
So it responds and says, only seen the one while escaping, attacked by a two-legged predator. What the fox says. It sounds what the fox says.
And then I assume I have very little time left, so I say it's clear
You
that
You're about halfway done.
okay. Would I
I'm
know
assuming
that?
it's going back and forth pretty quickly. Yes, you would know.
Okay.
But I will turn it on if the silence goes on for too long. The timer.
I see. Is this the same creature that cut you?
No. Escaping from the beast, the new beast. He says.
How long ago did you last see it?
It responds and says, 2 moons ago.
Okay. It's clear to us that you're very injured. Would you allow us to take care of you for the next couple days?
He responds and says, without this one's help, I will surely die. And he's like rubbing up against, or if he's in his arms already, like showing
Nuzzling.
affection to Arthur. And he's limping. I don't know, Arthur, are you holding him or is he on the ground and you're like next to him?
Next to him.
Yeah, so he's like just moving up next to him and like maybe trying to climb into his lap.
I motioned to Arthur to pick him up. Kind of like...
You still have some time if you have any other questions.
Okay, I pick him up. But he's still like, Therazar can ask questions to him. Like he's still there.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions, Therazar?
Would you be able to help us track him, basically? I know there are large things, but he might pick up something else or something along the way. I don't know.
So, he kind of looks at you, and you can tell that he's a little upset by that. And the hair on his thing raises again.
Hair on his thing?
On his
dick.
shoulders.
They're
On his
called
shoulders.
hackles.
Those two, the hackles go up. That's a good one. But he says, fuck. What does he say?
Well, I mean, I feel like that would be appropriate.
No, he says, like, you should stay away from the dangerous predator. It's not, it's vile, and I don't know where it's from. And in the middle of that, he, like, you stop understanding him, and he goes back to yipping.
Okay. Look at Arthur. He says it's nothing but clear trails and sunny skies from here.
Is that all?
Well, I mean, there was something about some strange creatures in there, but I didn't really care about that part.
Lovely. I vomit up another pile of blood. Maybe we should go find the witch first, though.
Yeah. You think?
Maybe.
Alright, let's get you out of this hole.
Alright,
So-
hold on a minute. I'll clear just enough space at the top of my backpack that the fox can sit comfortably in the top of it and kind of look over my shoulder if it wants to.
Oh,
Okay.
Now you're going to make him look for the weight of a fox.
I can, if you so desire. But while we're doing that, then I will focus on getting out of the hole.
I walk away
Okay,
from the
you're
edge.
able to get out, no problem.
Oh, okay. I was
Okay.
going to go tie off a rope.
Because you can take your time and whatnot. So, George and Cyrus, what are you doing? You instantly come awake when he heals you, by the way. So while they've been doing this, you do something.
I look down and see the erection. Wow, that was a rush.
Did you say see the erection?
Yes, I did.
Fuck. Okay.
Amazing.
Did someone end up getting that thing? I want to cut its ears off.
It ran away. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to that tree that he was hiding in and see if he left anything. A bag,
Okay.
arrow, or anything.
Okay. You're pretty sure it was this tree.
They roll for climbing or anything.
Like if you want to do it really quickly, yeah, you can
No,
always
I
take
take
10
my
minutes
time.
to make sure it's
Yeah.
done. And like rule of thumb, taking 10 is 10 minutes, but that's not necessarily always true. Like if you're not like you can't take 10 in combat. But like taking 10 to climb, in my mind, is not taking 10 minutes to climb 5 feet, right?
So I'm coming and seeing if there's anything. If he left anything.
Roll.
Roll 20.
It would be like perception or something. What are you looking for?
Any stuff that he left. Like maybe a bag. Bunch of arrows ready to be drawn. Food, notes. I don't know what he could left.
Okay.
You- Perception?
No. You can, however, see, just by being up there, that the wood is worn where you're pretty sure he was sitting. Like it's slightly polished from being sat in. If you know what I mean.
Sure. So what's the plan? Are we leaving the hobgoblin alone and just going for the witch?
Well, the witch is directly across the water. It's worth mentioning that this lake that you're on, to the east, like if you're facing the water from the way you guys were looking at it before, the water was north of you, and off to the east of you, it curves around and is this big lake. And to the west, it looks like it's either a river or something. There's a stream that goes that direction, and it narrows and whatnot that you can see from where you're standing on the shore. And Therazar, who's aware of where the witch is pretty sure she's on the other side of this lake/river on to the west. But you're pretty sure you can walk around you can either try to cross it somewhere at the river or even here if you want to try and get across the lake quickly. It's not that large of a lake, but considering the amount of time, actually, I'm not even going to say that because that's not really relevant. It's not that large of a lake, but it's not a small lake. You can see the other side, but it's distant, maybe half a mile, maybe. And walking around would take probably a couple days, considering how large the lake is. But Therazar is pretty sure the witch is on the other side, farther to the north.
Well, let's go find these herbs.
It's the witch?
It's worth
Sounds
mentioning
good.
also, Vlad, that the tracks that you were following did continue in this direction, and they get really sparse on the beach, but you do pick one out where you can see, and it looks like it was heading directly into the water
The slithering track specifically?
that he was following, yeah.
They are fucking Naga. Okay. I take note of that, but I think we should still look for herbs and maybe steer a little bit clear of the lake at this point, just because cough, cough, spit up a little bit more blood. Maybe we should look into the nasty shit in the lake later. I
This
say
is not
to
that
the rest
lake,
of
by
my
the way.
party.
That lake is back at the town that you guys left. It's not even a lake. It's like a small watering hole.
Wait, what?
What?
And it takes a day to get around a watering hole?
No,
Hold on.
that watering hole is back at the town that you left several days ago.
Oh,
This is a lake you guys weren't even aware of.
Oh.
The poisoned one, or the one with all the mold in it, is what he's
I don't
talking
give a
about.
Yes.
shit about that.
I thought
I'm
that's
just
what you were
saying we
talking
should
about.
avoid- No, I'm saying we should avoid whatever the fuck walked into the lake.
Well, is walked the right word, Vlad?
Are we gonna? Anyways. Before we get
what do
into
you-
semantic arguments here, I'm under the impression that we're still going to the witch to get the first item on the list.
I agree, says Arthur.
So
Cyrus? George?
I cough up
Sounds
blood
like
and
a
notice
plan.
the fox.
as much as I'd love to dredge that lake, let's go around it. It's gonna take longer, but it's gonna be safer than swimming with those things.
No bullets on the lake.
No,
Probably
no,
not.
Lake.
This is
It's a pretty pristine wilderness lake.
Hey, somebody might be fishing here. So
Therazar just kind of starts walking along the edge of the lake, kind of like we've done enough.
You can
talking.
actually see the tracks of the hobgoblin along the beach. And after a while, they go far enough as you guys travel. I assume everyone's going in that direction. Fuck. Hello, people.
Yeah, we're all going there.
We
Yeah.
were waiting for you to finish talking. You don't you don't wait at all after you stop talking to say hello, people. Anybody there? It's like we're just making sure you're done.
Well, I asked a question and no one responded, so.
I would like to point out the fact that you did not ask a question. You made an assumption, which is not a question at all.
We made an assumption
I
you
don't know.
asked a question and then waited for a reply.
As you walk along the beach to the east, the tracks continue heading east, and any of you who might have looked probably saw him in the very distance, but he ended up, once the beach starts to turn, he just basically gets into the woods and leaves the beach. Are you guys going to follow his tracks or walk along the beach or get in the woods and follow the shore in the woods? Because my understanding is now that you're on the beach, correct?
I look at Therazar as he disappears and or not Therazar, I am Therazar. I look at Arthur. I wonder if he thinks we're following him.
Probably does.
as long as we don't go to the wilderness, we should be fine, right?
Yeah, let's keep an eye out just in case he decides to get friends. We don't need to follow him, but we should be wary that he might think we are and respond in kind.
I feel like more traps would be on the beach would be a bigger problem. Another sinkhole right now.
What is passive perception in this?
There isn't really. I think it's
Okay.
basically your perception score, whatever your perception score is.
Okay. I don't think we need to worry about traps so much. Just keep an eye out, be wary, spread out a little bit so we don't get all caught in one thing. But we should keep moving.
I'm gonna make it noted that I'm specifically following an exact path behind Arthur, about 5 feet behind him.
Are you ghosting him?
Are you walking in
if,
his
so if
footprint?
there's a trap, then he's gonna be the one falling in, not me.
Senpai-kun.
Jesus.
I mean, it's a legitimate strategy.
I'm gonna reach back and pet the fox.
It pushes its nose and nuzzles your hand as you do.
Sweet.
But it's kind of laying down and resting. It had to situate itself a bit once you put it in there to find its own comfortable position. But as you guys walk throughout the day, you do get a good distance around, basically to the far east shore of this lake that you're on the shore of. And at that point it's gotten dark, and unless you're considering continuing through the night, it's probably time to make camp and whatnot. So.
All right. Who wants first watch? Glares at the two bards.
I lay down and start fake snoring.
I kick
You're not
Sam
even setting
down.
up your tent? Oh boy.
I'm kicking sand at him.
Still fake snoring.
I say llama can take a. I trust my llama to wake me up if something bad's gonna happen.
That's gonna be rough considering you don't have an empathic link with your llama.
Llamas are loud animals, you know?
Yeah, but they're not particularly intelligent.
Neither am I.
Noted.
He's right about that.
I thought you were sleeping.
Fake snores.
Alright, looks like I'm on first then.
Anyone else?
Gonna make a tent, fire.
Go
Get
ahead and
some
set up
wood.
my tent, and I'll take second watch.
Is anyone taking a third?
There's third?
There's 4 watches that need to be filled. Yeah,
Since when?
since the dawn of adventuring in D&D.
Not the last 2 times we've met. There's only been 2 watches.
Yeah, that's because you guys are the only ones who have been taking them.
There's the first 4 hours and then the second 4 hours.
No, there's the first 2, the second 2, the third 2, and the last 2.
I've literally never heard anyone split it up
I mean,
like
they
that.
could literally just split it up into 2.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just-
Right, but they end up taking penalties and whatnot for it.
No,
depending
because
upon
we
when
still
they
took
do
a
it.
short rest.
Oh, are you guys just resting longer then?
Yeah, I'm taking
Okay.
the first 4, he's taking the second 4.
Mm-hmm. Which means he only sleeps for 4 hours? If you're not getting 8 hours, it will fatigue you. And it's more difficult to prepare spells and whatnot.
I feel like this is stuff that we haven't been taking penalties for before because no one said anything.
You were earlier.
For what? What penalties have I taken?
It was back before you'd entered the forest.
I took a spear to the shoulder.
Thingy.
I'm not sure that counts as a penalty, though.
Like my
Oh,
stance
I
on
still
it
have the arrow
is
on my
that
arm.
if you're if you're just sitting there, it's fine. But if you end up having to get up in the night and exerting yourself in any way, that's not fine.
Okay, I mean, I can get behind that. Well, I guess whatever your rules are, those are the rules. I just wanted to make sure we were on a consistent basis here.
I understand.
Point out the fact that if a human being took massive penalties from only getting 4 hours of sleep, I myself would probably be dead by this point.
Well, I mean, you kind of are,
You
You
basically.
mean Vlad?
Yeah.
Wait, Vlad,
So,
aren't you a
anyway.
half-elf?
So yeah, moving on.
Well, no, this
So
is
you're
like a legitimate mechanic question. Vlad, aren't you a half-elf?
I'm human.
Okay, never mind. I thought half-elves get bonuses to, like, only short rests.
No, elves don't have to take the full 8 hours.
Okay.
Elves don't sleep; they meditate for like 2 or 4 hours, depending upon the edition you're in and what version of that edition you're in.
All right, got it.
So, are you guys starting a fire?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And you all settle in. You're taking the first watch, Mr. Man.
Of course, the bard laughs at that.
Of course, you don't laugh
So Therazar, you end up rather uneventfully waking up. What's his name? Arthur. And roll over, and they go to sleep. And you, Arthur, get situated and sit up. Probably stoke the fire, sit next to it, and keep an eye on the forest. Or where are you watching? Actually, that's probably a better question. What are you doing after he wakes you up and goes to bed?
Wait, me?
Yes, you.
This time I'm just gonna walk around the camp, just chill out next to the fire, keep myself warm. You know, normal watch stuff. I'm not gonna set up traps this time.
I think he was asking, when you sit down to just watch, which direction are you watching?
All of them.
No,
in a
what I'm
rotating
interested
fashion.
in is like, what are you concerned about? Are you
Uh,
more worried about the forest or the shore or the water? Because you can't look in 360 degrees. So I'm wondering.
what the fuck kind of question is this? What kind of watch do you ever go on? You turn in a circle and you walk.